Well, hello again, YouTube. AJ Shaver here, and sorry to start the video off with the actual work and then kind of get into it now after the trailer's been loaded, but we've been getting these big afternoon thunderstorms that have just been like decimating some trees around here with some high winds, and I needed to get down there to the job site, get it loaded, and get back home again because it was right about that time of day. So we're back here at the woodlot the next day and using the AM Machinery log loader trailer. This is the hybrid. It is a deck over dump, but it is galvanized and it does have the wooden deck on it with the bunk poles, because again, we always move more log length than I do bulk firewood. So this, with having the bunk pole here, the grapple can swing freely inside and out without banging into the sides. This is a 16,000 pound trailer with a 16-foot deck. These are 8K axles with the 17.5 load range J. Yes, an 18-ply tire. And I know this load is heavy because those tires actually have a little belly to them. So it's a little squishy. And with 105 pounds of pressure in them, they shouldn't look squishy unless it's heavy. So I ran around with the tape measure before, and we're anywhere from like 12 feet on this one to 10 feet on these up here. They range anywhere from 17-inch to 20 to 24, and the big one on top was the last one that we loaded, is actually 30 at the base. So reasonably so. You know, the 19-foot loader, it had to work just a skosh to get it accomplished, but at 19 feet it is rated for 3,000 pounds at the half reach point. So if the secondary stick is dangling straight down, it'll lift 3,000 pounds at that reach point. So, and I probably could have revved up the engine a little bit more for some higher pressure, a little bit more gallon per minute, but I wasn't going to pause the video to reach over and jack it up and then have somebody make a comment like, oh, you had to add power to it. No, not really. It would have made it a little bit smoother on the operation, but still got it done. I'm going to move the camera and jump up on the deck just to show you the log diameters on these. And it is pine, so why we brought it home, I do quite a bit of business with the campfire bundles, and we use the pine for the campfire bundles. So traditionally, I pull out the poplar and I pull out the pine, and between those two species is what we use for the bundled wood and the campfire stuff. So we've already got like 9 bags, so 3 cords of poplar over there seasoning up. These just got dropped, so we'll have to let them sit for a little bit of time in the bags, but not too long because pine doesn't really take that long to dry out, especially in the bags. But I think I'm going to do these as a 1-2 punch. I'm going to use the Halverson HWP 150 on the front of the Toolcat because that does give me the biggest cut diameter of anything that I have here. It reaches in like that 24-25 inch cut diameter. So we're going to throw these rounds on there. I know the Toolcat won't be able to pick up the processor and the round, but we'll at least be able to get it cut to length. We'll split it 6 ways, and then I'll fire up the SF 1316 from Split Force, and then we'll make all of our small little bundled wood on the vertical splitter. So like I said, let me move the camera to the back of the trailer, and we'll stretch out the tape measure, and I'll show you just exactly what we have going on. Again, taking some time today where we're not in a rush like we were yesterday. Like I said, those are an 18-ply tire with 105 pounds in them. This is one heavy load. I actually had to put the Chevy in 4-wheel drive to come up the dirt road just because there was more weight, I think, behind the truck than what the truck weighed with everything else. So, but yeah, let me grab the tape measure because it's really tough to get a proportion here on how big these rounds actually are. All right, so I pulled the grapple out of the way so you could really see what's behind me here. And so that is 30 inch. Actually, while I have a tape measure out, has anybody actually worn out a tape measure? I know I've owned like 20 different tape measures, like the big Fat Max ones that you can put out like 12 feet before it bends. You think I could find one for the video today? No, so I'm left with my little one that I've hidden in the door of my truck so the kids haven't taken that one away. Now, I'm not saying they're the culprits because I've misplaced many tools before, but just find it odd that the tape measures are never in the toolbox. Just, anyway, I digress. So there we have 30-inch. Here we have 21. There's another 20. Got a little guy here on the bottom at 14. Another one there at about 17. There's 21. 23. And 17. So we have a really diverse group of pine here as far as the diameter goes. I know that one definitely won't go across the 150, but I'd venture to say we could make little pieces out of these big pieces with the Halverson processor on the front of the Toolcat. So probably not going to get to it tonight because I've got some things going on, but at least wanted to do a recap here on the video. We've never stopped selling the log loader trailers. It's just something I had to transition out of one thing to focus on some other stuff, and we did sell like 3 trailers last week. So if you do want a quote on a log loader trailer like this, there are basically 3 different models. The first one is like mine, where it's the deck over dump, where you get the bunk poles on it so the grapple can swing through. Then we have your traditional deck over dump, which is normally like 7 feet wide, like in between, you know, the sides, which that's what this one is. And that'll have like the 2-foot solid side, the 2 foot worth of mesh on top of that. And then we get into an RFR model, which is like your road and forestry trailer. No deck, just I-beams and C-channel, open frame skeleton design with the same kind of bunk poles on it and the heavy duty trucker straps. Base price, you know me, I hate throwing numbers out there because everything changes, and if I'm wrong, now it's recorded. But if you're in that 7x14 deck over dump, I like to do that one with a 17-foot reach loader on it. You're going to be somewhere in the upper 30s, like 36 to 39,000, just depending how we option it and feature it. The 7x16 is definitely the more popular model, because that'll go with a 16,000 pound GVW. The other one's a 14,000. So I like running a true weighted axle. So if it's a 16K trailer, it is tandem 8K axles. And then I normally upgrade it to the 17.5 tires because, again, wood is heavy. We don't really know what it weighs. So I've always thought that Sprite had it wrong, where image is everything, thirst is nothing. So if it looks good going down the highway, kudos. Just get back to the job site safely. Trailers are definitely meant to carry the weight. Then we get into, the 7x16, 16K, 16 feet long. And then I normally do that one with the 19-foot reach loader. That way it'll actually nest out here behind the rear gates. The same thing with the 17-foot loader on the 14-foot trailer. Just because if you're hauling firewood in it, you're not really going to push that down. So I like to get the loader outside the back barn doors. And then that one's going to run like mid 40s, you know, again, give or take. A lot of guys add the winch at that point, which is like 4 grand, but it's a hydraulic winch. And then with that 16-foot trailers, a lot of the tree companies up it to a 48-inch solid side. And then some guys get, you know, the 24-inch mesh top on top of that. So to get like a 6-foot side out of it. The bunk trailers are the cheapest ones because there's not a lot of metal in them. You know, it's either the same 7K axles with the heavy duty 16 tires on like my RFR 05, which is a 14,000 pound trailer. And that one you're running like lower 30s, like 31 to 33, again, depending how we build it and which loader goes on it. And then the RFR 07, I'll actually have one of those coming through probably in 2 to 3 weeks, I would say. So we'll definitely feature that on the channel. and they're in the upper 30s, like that 38, 39, again, depending how we spec it. We can do a gooseneck. I don't like doing a gooseneck trailer if we're under 20,000 pounds, just because that neck is so heavy that you lose a lot of your carry capacity, because it increases the curb weight of the trailer. I like doing a 10K axle as a minimum on that, again, to get into that 20,000 pound, but then we can go 24,000 and even 30,000 pounds. You've seen the Big Bertha trailer out there, 8 feet wide, 24 feet long. I think they were like 6 or 8 foot tall sides on that thing. Nice storm debris cleanup trailer, but that gets into like crazy territory, like, yes, like over $60,000, again, depending how it's spec'd. There's a lot of metal, a lot of girth in that. But just want to throw some, food for thought out there, that if you are looking for one of these, I know early on, I could not have done the wood business that we did without this trailer or my 7x14. That was the first one that we owned. Both trailers have definitely paid for themselves in just going out and getting something like this. I would venture to say there's probably strong 1.5 cords, maybe 2 cords of firewood, that we'll get out of here. Again, we'll either use the IBC totes or the bags, to capture this so we can quantify it. But we couldn't do what we did without this trailer. It is a big expense, yes, but as one guy, I made one trip. I didn't have to take the mini skid steer or the skid steer, load the trailer, bring the wood home, unload it with the second piece of equipment, and then make a return trip to the job site. It was just gone, done, and back. And then we'll use the loader to actually unload here on the woodlot, and whether that's loading it directly onto the Halverson processor or directly onto the live deck on the 1824 diesel machine. However, that's got to happen. But video's getting a little longer than I wanted to do with it, but I figured it was worth mentioning. So if it's something we can get you a sales quote on, give me a phone call. It's 833-SPLITTER. It's 833-775-4887. You can also email me at sales@shaverequipment.com. And these are not featured on the website yet. I've got to sit down with the media team and get that over on shaverequipment.com. Basically took a 1.5 years off of selling trailers. I just needed to focus on the core firewood stuff, and went through some health issues myself and my wife last year. So, but I digress. We're all healthy and back at it. So, like I said, if we can earn your business with the sales quote, we'd love to talk to you. A lot of different options with these, as you can tell. But we'll talk to you soon. Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button to stay up to date on everything we have going on. And we'll see you next time. And remember, we're always working hard to be lazy. Thanks for watching.